allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chief, if you would please.
Heavenly Father, as we come together for this meeting tonight, I pray that you would guide our words, our thoughts. Help us, Lord, to make the right rulings, the right decisions for this community. We'll give you all the praise in your Son's name, Jesus Christ. We pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Barkowska?
Here.
Chambers? Here. Freeland? Here. Shaver?
Here.
Valentine? Here. Roberta, that's her name. Go first for this. Okay, let me Roberta then public comments. All right, Roberta, go right ahead.
Roberta Salisbury, I graduated from Mayville a long time ago. I'm a United States Navy veteran from Vietnam era and Desert Storm.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I belong to VFW Post 334 life member. And Oxford, Holly, and Ortonville have all made their villages Purple Heart villages. And I'm just asking, and it'll be at no cost to Mayville. Some of us veterans we're going to pick up the cost for the signs. They cannot be put on M24. They can only put within the village signs. And probably I could get Delbert to help me put them up if your maintenance or guys are too busy or whatever. But I gave her a proposal. It basically tells you what the Purple Heart was about when it was established by George Washington. And there's approximately, since 1932, approximately 1.8 million Purple Hearts have been awarded. And there's a lot of veterans. I mean a lot to them, I think, in this community. And I've been here since 2017, but I was raised in Silverwood. But I think it would just be something nice. It would be the first one in Tuscola County. And I could probably get hold of the Mayville Monitor and the advertiser and get a little blurb in there for the community and everything, as long as we have your support and everything.
So, no cost to the village.
No cost to the village.
Support, and we're agreeing to observe August 7th as that.
Purple Heart.
Heart.
Yeah, that's nationwide. Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay.
And the sign was actually, part of it's something similar to Oxford in Holly, but I'm not an artist or nothing, but I have a niece who's a senior at the high school here. She found the insignia of the Mayville, and she was incorporated that, and that's basically what the sign. Fulton Street coming into town, past up by the high school, and down off of 24. The only way you can be on 24 is they have to be a green sign, because purple is under the federal law. Apparently, purple is for evacuation colors. So if the Tuscola County Road Commission wanted to put them up, that's up to them at their cost.
Because that's actually when I did the research. I don't think I've seen signs like that. They were all.
They are not. When you go into Oxford, there's a green one, but all theirs are on secondary streets. Drainer Road, one of the main streets in town going in and out of town, they're on that road. They've got like 6 signs up.
Maybe Rochester Road, is that one?
Not within the city, not within the.
Just going on it, yeah.
Yeah, so anything, it's in the village of Oxford. Holly, I'm not sure where theirs are at. I'm assuming they're in town somewhere. And I don't know where Ortonville's are at. But I do know where Oxford's at. I have a list. Maybe, wait a minute, I do have a list. Oh, there's, Oxford's is on Lakeville Road, Seymour Lake, West Drainer, and West Oakwood Road. And there's a similar to this sign. And then the green one that the road commissioner put up is like that. But that's strictly up to they found out about it. They did it for nothing for Oxford, but I don't expect Tuscaloosa County to, all the troubles they're having at the road commission to put up signs.
Probably not. Isn't Delbert working to get, part of the 24 anyways?
The vet to vet, and,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I talked to them guys and they all they all approve. I just needed to get it through the village and,
I was at their last meeting and there was over 100 and some people.
about 140. You found out as many as 160.
I was at their last meeting and there was over 100 and some people.
About 140. You found out as many as 160 at vet to vet.
I support it 100%.
I support it. I would make a motion to support this. I mean, we have a lot of veterans in this community.
Now, I wasn't sure about the name, but I put the clerk's name on it.
That's
Is that
right.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so do I have a motion to adopt the resolution for the Village of Mayville to become a Purple Heart community in honor for the service and sacrifice and valor of the Purple Heart recipients?
Motion.
Motion, do I have a second? All right, and do we have an all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Um,
you.
I'll let you know when I get the signs.
Yep, just let us know absolutely anything that you need from us. Labor, help, set up.
I'll talk to
anything.
Delbert and see if we can do it. If we can do it, then we'll do it. If not, I'll get a hold of you guys and see if your public works and help us put the signs up. I figured,
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm gonna get 4 or 5 signs. Figured I'd cover all 4 corners. And then I'm gonna put, even though the vet to vet is not in the village, I'm gonna give them a sign anyway.
I'm gonna make a copy of this and then you can have it back.
Thank you very
So,
much.
it's all yours. Thank you very much, Roberta.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be related to Michael Valentine, would you?
I'm married in, so I don't really know.
Oh,
who's
so I went to
already
school with
in
him,
it.
so that's why I was asking.
I know there's a Mark and there's a Nick and then, yeah, after that, I don't really know too many of them. Yeah. Kind of the downside being married in when you're, small town, 'cause everybody's like, oh, you know this, and I'm like, yeah. It's a small town living. I think we have to go buy a large dog crate. And I was like, oh, the last name Valentine. He's like, like people, and Scott's like, oh yeah. We talked for like over 30 minutes, and I'm just sitting here like.
My maiden name was Wood.
Okay, because I grew up on Summerwood when I was younger.
Okay, so Leonard Wood, Ross Wood. Ross
Yeah,
Wood,
Ross was our neighbor across.
he was my grandfather.
Across the field.
Thank you very much.
Through the woods.
You know everybody.
Well, I was little and he flew an airplane.
Oh, that was Walter.
Oh, Walt? Okay. I knew there was one of them.
I swear you know everybody.
No,
All right,
small towns.
gotta love it. All right, thank you, Roberta. Anything else, or did you need anything else
No,
from us? Okay.
no,
All right, perfect.
thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to public comment. Does anybody have any public comments? No. If you wanted to jump in, you're giggling.
I'm going to, okay.
Huh?
I'm gonna jump in.
Now or later? You want to do it this one? Or?
Let's do it now.
Okay.
I have an issue with this, FOIA in the village. And I got a $250 an hour lawyer taking care of those FOIAs, when anybody in this office can take care of them for absolutely next to nothing, including the treasurer. It's a waste of money. $250 an hour for me to get an answer whether I'm cleared or not. And you call him all the way out here when I could have called, you could give me his phone number, could talk to him, he may charge me for it, but he's not gonna charge me for the time he leaves home, comes here, goes back home. You're talking $500 just to get a yes or no. This is ridiculous, the money you people are spending without permission. You're all just authorizing it. The council never knew anything about him having those FOIAs.
When was he here for that, is my question?
You told me last month he would be here for the summer.
Yeah, because we have more than just that to discuss.
he was gonna be here anyway. So that's why I said, if he's gonna be here, you can talk to him directly if you wanted to save yourself the phone call.
Do I need to talk to him straight to face, just instead of on the phone? All I wanna know is a yes or no. Does this bill pay $10.91? Is it paid or is it not paid?
Honestly, we
Can I
don't
run
have
for a
any
public office?
records
Can
of,
I do this? Can I do that?
I have zero record of your check, Barry. I have every other check that came through, whether it's held, not cashed check, or a cashed check with a receipt. You do not have a check in there. So we're trying to figure out if you did send it to the lawyer's office.
I sent it to the village of Mayville.
Okay, so, yeah, we don't have a record of the check.
Actually, I sent it to the bank.
If you send it to the bank, it probably got put on your water bill or something, not, they don't take payments for anything else.
I called the bank earlier today, and this check was wrote in 24, and the bank said that check is still valid. This afternoon, I talked to the bank. That check that I wrote to you for $10.91 is still valid and good.
I don't have a check from you to the village of Mayville. So if you gave it to the bank, I would try to see if they have a copy of it or something.
But my bank has a copy of it.
Yeah, but they never gave us the copy of the check. So you said that you gave the check to the bank, but
Village of Mayville.
Has it been cashed?
No,
so
it's
is the bank holding?
put in the shelf someplace.
When you got right on there for your request.
No.
But you-
No.
But you said that you paid it at the bank though.
Yeah, I don't know why you would have paid it there.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
How would the
I'm not
bank-
saying you didn't, I'm just
how would the bank
trying to
keep
figure
track
out
of
where
it?
it
I believe
went.
Kayla, I'm not saying it isn't, but somewhere in the line.
Yeah, but you did it at the bank though, right? Is what you said, you paid it at the bank?
Yes, correct.
Okay, is there any way for you to like contact them and
But
see if they
they
have
should've
like a
cashed
receipt or
it.
something?
It was in Mayville, the same bank I pay my water bill.
Yeah, can you ask them for like a verification or like a receipt?
If they
or
haven't
something?
cashed it, if they haven't cashed it, just void it and write another one
Yeah,
and give it to them.
cause like I said, we never received any record of it, so I don't know what the bank did with it, but
So
we
is it-
never received it.
Is it still a bill to be paid after going to court, and in court they said that
Yeah,
they're
cause we
all.
never received any of the payment. Yeah, at
Right.
any point.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
And I
is
mean,
you
I
talk to
hate,
the-
I hate to really bring it up, but the day you came in here and got your application for the zoning administrator, you admitted that you hadn't paid that,
Admitted what? Didn't pay what?
that you still owed that. You were fully aware that you were on the list and hadn't paid.
When we went to court up there for a week, on the back of one of those papers, there was 16 people that were ineligible that didn't pay their bill. I was one of those 16 people.
Correct.
Here's the check to show I did.
Yeah, but we
we
actually
never
need
received
the
it.
check. So I would contact the bank and see
And I'm just saying,
what they
literally
did
the
with
week
it.
after court, you told me that you were aware.
Yeah, but we're trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm just saying.
So if, best thing I can say is contact the bank, see what they did with the check. If it's still not cashed or anything, they might still have it, but they never gave it to us.
And they wouldn't.
We have
just
no,
close it.
nothing from them stating that that they accepted that check.
I'd go get that check, Carrie. Go get
Because
that
they
check
only collect the
and
water
void
and
that
taxes,
check
right?
out
Yeah.
and write another one.
Yeah, so they
And
wouldn't
then
take
come up
it.
here and get a receipt.
If I write another one, if this is all for what you're saying, so then I write a check for $10.91, am I gonna be clear?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
should
deliver
get
it
a
to the village
receipt.
hall, yeah. Just get the receipt for it and you're all set.
And you'll get a receipt.
It's just we have to have the check, like, you know what I mean?
Education check. That's what I would do, because
Where did the check go that I wrote?
the bank had it, you said.
I put it at the bank. I don't know about it's, you know.
The bank's gotta have it if you gave
Yeah,
it to the
if you
bank.
did it there, go and ask them, where's this check?
That'd be the logical thing to ask the bank.
Mayville is getting so picky with everything being written out correctly and to what account. There's no way that they would have cashed it
they would have had to give it to the village. If they didn't give it to the village, then they've gotta have the check somewhere in the bank.
Well, why were we in court for a week, and on the back of there was 16 people ineligible to hold public office in the village of Mayville because they didn't pay this $10.91. I was on that list.
Because we didn't receive the payment,
They didn't
right?
get your payment,
Yeah,
that's why. They should probably still at the bank.
Well, found out there, maybe there's someplace.
Well, I mean, it saves us on the lawyer fees for that
Just
one.
waited.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It saves us on the lawyer fees for that one. Bad joke, sorry.
I'm taking off my water valve.
All right, any other public comments? No? Okay. All right, moving on. We did receive the resignation for Mr. Torrey, effective pretty much immediately because it is dated for the 1st. So hopefully by next meeting, we will have at least a general idea of the candidates so we can kind of move fast on this. Considering spring is coming soon and everybody's gonna be doing all their yard working and finally have nicer weather. So, all right, moving on. Kayla, what you got?
Well, obviously the stuff that I had in front of you is just in preparation for the next meeting, things to look over. I haven't gotten the budget quite finalized to you yet, so I figured that would occupy your time for a few days until I get that ready. So nothing that you need to worry about on that today.
When we get to the next one, can we get that also that, how much we spent in the budget, like we did the time before? That way we can kind of play off it and see what we're looking at.
I think I always give it to you where it shows last year's and the activity and everything.
Like the activity.
I mean, when I post it, it has to go on as just the year's budget, like to go online.
Right.
But
That way we can look at the budget that we're gonna get back. Kind of play on, see how it works.
right, yes. And then just to note on the capital improvement plan, that on the back, I kind of revised, like I put completed projects down there, which are the things that are coming off the list, but I just wanted you to know them will come off for the final, like, we can't keep them on. But I just wanted to say that. And then I just added a couple more streets to the wish list, but. So just make sure you don't lose the stuff that happened for next time. Anybody that you talk to, try to get that, start talking about a millage for the streets. So we can get the road millage back.
Did you get everything taken care of with the credit card for buying?
And Amazon, the cost of that is $3,930.33. I was like, I mean, it says free shipping or free delivery. Amazon prices change every day. No guarantee that that's gonna be the dollar amount when I actually make the purchase. But so ultimately, I did have to correct the grand total to be $20,164.34 to accommodate that
That's terrible, the pricing off of Amazon, because it's based on availability.
few dollars. So I tried to talk to the bank a little bit more as far as like if I could purchase a prepaid card or whatever, but apparently Franken was only offered like prepaid gift card, things like that for $1,000. So where I'm at is the money's on the way. She said today she submitted for the funds. So the day it hits the bank and I know that it's there, I will order it on my own personal credit card and reimburse myself immediately. But I didn't want to take the risk of making the overall credit limit for a village. But it's rare that Louis uses more than 3,000. Terry on occasion, because fire equipment is so damn expensive, that there's times, but he always manages, and if it's more than what his card is, it's the same. He uses a personal card and reimburse, but most things he can get invoiced. I don't expect, there should only be this purchase, the only other purchase on that list that might exceed that 3,000 is gonna be this stinking bulb.
Okay, so can I motion then we upgrade Kayla's
To 5,000.
to 5,000, please?
there a second for that?
I'll second it.
You keep your little 3,000, no, you're not getting brownie points here.
It just makes sense, that's all. Got it.
All right, do I have a second? Any discussion?
It'd be smart, and then she don't have to take the consequences down the road. I'm just saving her trouble, technically, because you know, down the road, there's gonna be on that report that Kayla was reimbursed $3,000, and then it's gonna be a big argument, so let's just save the consequences
I
right
mean,
now.
Aside,
I
I
mean,
mean, if it makes it better, but
It
it's still
does.
gonna come back on me. I can cut the check directly to my credit card rather than to myself.
I'm just saving you the trouble, period.
Okay, so do we have a second for the motion to increase Kayla / the clerk / manager's card to 5,000?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
It's been motioned, you just have to say.
Hold on, second it.
Do it, it depends on the bank if they're going to approve it, so.
Yeah, we need to, if we find out anything on the smoke, we can keep moving on it. Somebody's gotta answer you in some way, shape, or form. I can't just say no. Say, well, and like you
I just
said,
basically
when
get
you talk
no
about
response.
different ones, I understand.
Place that we can question, hey, you went over this amount, why? Explain why this wasn't taken in front of council. So she would still have explaining to do if she does go over the basic amount. So this is not a willy-nilly card thing. Okay, next.
Kind of
item.
on that notion, though, another thing I want to bring up, and I'm not quite sure how to correct or be sure that it all works, because we tried it at one time. But the mail and checks, I don't know. I'm so, AT&T is saying that they haven't received a check from December. I show that it was paid in December. It hasn't cleared, but this is reoccurring. I get this with AT&T, I get it with DTE that I send out checks and they end up way late. Republic for the garbage, between the fact that you don't get their invoices until 3 days before they're due, on top of then you put it in the mail and it takes 3 weeks for it to get there. I don't know how to streamline, and I know, I'm pretty sure when Sue was working, that we attempted to do the online payments for like DTE and
Like an auto pay.
consumers. Not really auto pay, but just where we're not putting checks in the mail.
Okay. So
You
just
know,
pay
she would get
instead
online,
of-
make the payment, you have to create the invoice in the system the same way as if you were writing a check. It's just an EFT transfer. So for one, we'd save a ton on checks, which checks are not cheap either. Postage. The only downfall, well, the two downfalls, is somehow that did not work out for us because we ended up putting a stop to it because things still didn't seem to work the way they were supposed to. The other thing is the way all of these companies are starting to charge to use online systems too. Or you have a limit, like I think DTE just changed where if you were using a card, you pay this much. And then,
Yeah,
to
DTE
use your
just
bank
started
account,
doing
it's a
that.
limit of $2,000 or something. Well, I pay DTE more than $2,000 a month. So, I don't know.
Pretty sure they just tacked on a credit card payment online too. The
Yes.
DP, I think it's like $3 or something.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Accommodating
obviously, I would
that.
set them
But I
up to
could-
be like EFT or ACHs and stuff.
Exactly, you
but-
would have to register it as an ACH to go kind of like back.
But I don't
get
know if
out
there's
of
still
that.
that limit for like a $2,000 transaction, which would just maybe mean
That one I
that you
don't
have to
think
do
so.
multiple transactions.
I don't think so. So first I would contact the bank to see if that's like if they have that limit.
Well,
And
my
then-
assumption with that is that we're gonna need like a resolution or a motion, just because we do require 2 signatures on everything. So I'm sure there's gonna be something that we're gonna need to put into place that you guys are allowing for these. It would really only be them like monthly utility reoccurring kind of bills that I have the worst trouble with. I've had it with other ones, but when it's once a year, okay, whatever, we can hope that check never clears, because I don't wanna pay $50 on a stop payment for a check that's just lost, you know?
Yeah.
Or eventually it gets sent back because eventually they get it, or it just takes 6 months to clear it off.
DT, didn't they just approve like the rate hikes last year? A rate hike?
Who's that?
DTE?
They just did it last week, and then they put in for another one. And Attorney General said this is enough.
Yeah.
You can't get one and then put in for one right after we give it to you. He was pretty upset about it. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Carrie?
Just a thought. I do a lot of automatic withdrawals from my account. And anybody that I do an automatic withdrawal with, the Edison bill or whatever the case may be, as soon as you do that, you have a specific date, which that's all you probably know of. You've got a date that you're gonna withdraw. The next day, they have a receipt, either text or in the mail to you to show that you made your payment. So why couldn't we do that with what Kayla's talking about here? It's secure, it's not in the mail, it's not, you know.
Well, we're trying to make sure because our electric bill is way more than the usual allotted amount for the transfers or like
Well, I
for the
believe that,
ACH.
yes.
So what I was saying was we have to make sure that first the bank would approve that amount for us to be transferring out and that they can accept that amount, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
through their company. So that was the only thing that we were kind of like more hesitant on and needing more clarification on. Because I don't want to sit here and approve it and then find out like it's not plausible. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it wasn't like more of like the invoices or anything, like, because usually you get that immediately, like, especially when you put in for like any payment. But with it being like the ACH and stuff, they do have like their limits.
Okay.
So that was the only concern.
And it's, yeah, I mean, I wish I could say like our bills are, you know, they do vary, but we have, what, 17 electric bills?
How many?
17?
Really?
Each
And
lift
then
station
there's
has
street
their
lights
own, then
that
you
is
have street
separate.
lights, then you have
And
fire department,
street lights
all,
itself
yeah.
is like
Each,
3,000.
each
Water plant has their
What
own
is it,
arsenic
way
plant.
stations or whatever.
Do they
they call
not,
it.
Yeah.
do they not have to,
Have to enter that information
And it's like a monthly
18
budget and
times.
everything.
well, that's what I'm saying, that the 17, now you tell me the 17 going up, so would it not save 17? I mean, and it would all,
You
it
would
would all
think-
take some investigating.
You're trying to say like, oh, that should save you some time having to enter all that? I
Yeah.
wish.
You still have to do that.
No, and then
even
she
though
would
it's
also
doing-
have to do it for the monthly budget too, because each one comes out of a different department, and we have the monthly budget is broken down between each department.
Yeah.
So,
I tell you, just to pay the electric bills is a good hour and a half of your time, basically.
Is that right?
Just to get them all tediously entered and posted and
coded and back in the system.
stupid. I would love to just say they could go on auto pay and never have to worry about it again. Don't work like
Okay. Sorry, I took up your time.
You're fine. Rather answer the question than not, and just leave it open.
that.
So-
But yeah, that's just venting, I guess, about some of my daily problems. So I guess the only other thing I really have is, I don't know. We've talked about the insurance offering the risk reduction grants, the twice a year that they do. So they have one coming up for, deadline's March 15th. I thought, based on what research I've done, there's been several things that we've talked about and wanted to do, but this one seemed the most feasible, logical, and the easiest right now. Was to ask for the amount to build our website, because they do offer some ADA compliancy things. So because I'm throwing this together super fast and unplanned in a sense, I used the up to, but in order to apply, we have to have this resolution of support. So if you guys would be so kind to support this resolution so that we can attend. I'm not even gonna promise that I'm gonna get it done. We've got one written, but the insurance guy apparently wants to change something, so, I gotta talk to him and figure that out. But we don't have another meeting before the 15th, so it's kinda like now or never.
Are we still getting these two quotes from the companies at this price?
Is to my knowledge, when we talked about it last, Bill said that his people had agreed that them prices were the same. I communicated with Revise last, they said they would hold their prices as well. That's another kind of confirmation that I need to be sure. The grant is for up to 5,000. But I think the 3,800 is a safe number for a build. I do have a couple other questions that I want to ask both companies still that I came up with, but that's me working behind the scenes, so.
And this would be just for the build of the website, so this is
Yeah.
not any of the monthly fees or anything like that, but it would take a huge chunk out of the overall amount for that first year. And then I think it would help ease everybody's mind of not having to upfront pay, you know, the amount coming out of the accounts. So if we could get a grant for it, even better. And then we can use the fall grant for, again, because as it's stated, you get 2 options for it a year. So if we use this one for the website first, we don't have to worry about the ADA compliance later.
The only thing you can't apply for another one until this one's closed out. So that might kind of put us in a bind depending on how quick everything happens.
Put in for it.
Make a motion for support for the resolution.
Yep.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
And then we'll do a roll call vote.
Freeland,
Yes.
Chambers,
Yes.
Barkowska,
Yes.
Shaver,
Yes.
Valentine.
Yes.
Okay. And I guess that's pretty much, he was here and just talked to you, so he didn't need to talk to the board at all for anything?
No, we're good. He's gonna come back with a package with his proposal to the village, because there's some procedure he has to go through.
Okay,
And then we'll be able to give that to our attorney.
okay.
He'll have to review.
Sounds good on that, so I guess that's nothing right now. So that covered my to-do list. So.
All right, anybody on council have anything that they'd like to bring up or discuss? No? Okay, and then we'll just bring it up to public comments again. Anybody have anything else for today? No? Okay, motion for adjournment?
I'll motion it.
And I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That's it? Yeah, that's right. You went Vegas, right?